Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the Nike Zoom Freak 5. So this is Giannis Antetokounmpo's 5th signature shoe with Nike, and it retails for 130 bucks. There are some colorways going for 140 bucks, so it's like 130 to 140 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave the free link in the description box, but let's get it started right off with the Traction. So here in the forefoot, we have a bunch of Giannis Antetokounmpo's logo, right? We have the Zoom Freak logo, I guess, here in the forefoot. And then here in the midfoot, we have, it kind of reminds me of like a smear traction pattern a little bit, you know, in the Zoom GT Cut 2 and also the Kyrie 8. But that's just here in the heel, and also we have like a triangle shape, which is kind of weird, right? And also in this colorway, we have a solid rubber outsole with a combination of purple, blue, green, and black colors. So how is the traction? The traction is freaking top tier, freaking amazing. If you're playing on a clean court, you have an amazing freaking bite. Amazing stops, you stop on a dime, all the good stuff. So yeah, you're gonna be good to go if you're playing on a clean court. I don't know what they did with the rubber compound, but the rubber compound was super duper sticky here in the Zoom Freak 5, especially in this colorway. Also on dust, it was pretty damn good, right? I wouldn't say it's the best, right? It bites through dust pretty well, but if you let too much dust build up, then you do start to slide out a little bit, right? And it's not super dangerous, but it does slip. So be careful on that. But if you do keep up with your wipes, you're good to go. I think the reason for that is because the grooves are super duper close together. It's probably trapping dust and stuff like that inside of these grooves. So because of that, probably sliding out a little bit, but like I said, it wasn't terrible, and it's very, very easy to wipe off the dust, right? So once you do that, you're gonna have good stops. But just keep in mind, you are going to need to wipe pretty frequently. But for the most part, I had a pretty good time if I kept up with my wipes playing on a dusty court. Now moving on to the durability. Durability seems probably not the best, but doesn't seem terrible, right? We have a lot of grooves, so we have a lot of surface area and stuff like that. The rubber is kind of soft. It's not super hard, it's not super soft. The rubber kind of moves when I try to move it with my finger, but the overall rubber seems like kind of hard, you know what I mean? So I feel like durability on an outdoor court will be okay. Probably not the best, probably not the worst. So I had an amazing time playing in the Zoom Freak 5, but like I said, if I didn't have time to wipe, I did find myself sliding just a tiny bit, right? So just be careful on that. Now moving on to the heel to toe transition, overall pretty damn smooth. Here in the heel, we have a nice rounded shape, and also we have a fully exposed foam, so it's super soft here in the heel. And in the forefoot, we have a nice rounded and curved shape, so it has a nice rocking motion. And then we have a lot of forefoot flex. Nothing here in the midfoot, however, so torsion support is very good, but we have a very flexible forefoot, so it's a super duper smooth feeling shoe, and doing heel dominant strides down the court felt very, very nice. So a heel to toe transition, very, very good. I enjoyed it. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. One of my favorite parts about this shoe, honestly, besides the traction was really good too, which I enjoyed, but the cushion was super duper nice as well. So they just say it's a soft foam. It's probably some type of cushion, right? But yeah, there's a good amount of compression here in the heel. It's actually soft. It has a little bit of rebound back. It has a little bit of bounce back, which I do like as well, especially when you're doing heel dominant strides. That kind of adds to the bounce a little bit. And then heel strikes was good for me as well. My heel didn't hurt at all because this foam is super duper soft, right? And then in the forefoot, we have a top loaded zoom unit, which is pretty easy to feel. You can feel a nice little compression, nice little bounce right underneath the foot here in the forefoot. It's more like, you know, where the ball of your foot is, right? Spanning across your foot. So that felt really nice as well. Nothing too crazy. So all of that with good responsiveness and also good court feel made this cushioning setup feel very, very nice. So if you're a guard and you're looking for like a responsive cushioning setup, but you also you want to feel quick, but also you want to have a little bit of impact protection, right? You don't want something super duper stiff, then this is a great option. I feel like it does everything pretty damn well. As far as like bounce goes, compression, comfort, responsiveness and all that, it does all of them pretty damn well. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well, right? Nothing is super soft, nothing is super bouncy or anything like that, but like I said, I feel like it's a really good overall cushioning setup, and I feel like a lot of people will enjoy it like I did, right? So there's the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the materials. So the materials, I mean, okay, so they're using like a synthetic material here in the toe box, right? And that's this pretty cool stitched pattern on it as well, but it definitely does feel synthetic. It feels fake, it feels a little cheap as well. I mean, it makes sense, it's 130 bucks. But this leather material, as you guys can see, it has a little bit of like fluffiness to it. So it adds to the coziness to the overall material here in the toe box, which I do like. But also look at that, it's actually soft. It conforms to your foot very well. It's not super thin, but it doesn't feel bulky or cumbersome at all. And then probably underneath that, like here on the lateral side and also on the medial side, we have like a textile material, which feels very nice too. It stays extremely thin here in the midfoot as well. And then the tongue is pretty well padded. It's not as padded as like the Zoom Freak 1 and 2 were, which I really liked because they had a lot of padding, but this is still pretty good. It adds a little bit of coziness to the material as well. And it's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then for the laces, as you guys can see, we have these kind of like eyelets, and they're kind of straps. They go all the way down into the midsole here on the medial and also here on the lateral side, right? So once you tighten the laces, it kind of squeezes on top of your foot, gives you better lockdown and also support for lateral containment, right? So that's a nice little extra bonus. And then here in the ankle area, I would say there's like an average, maybe a little bit less than average amount of padding. So overall, this material, this upper feels pretty damn nice. It feels really nice on foot. It's a nice combination of like coziness, right? It's not super cozy like the Dawn issue line, but it has a little bit of coziness. It's comfortable. It also conforms to your foot very well, and it feels overall pretty damn supportive, as well as feeling like more on the minimal side of things, right? Like I said, it doesn't feel super bulky or anything like that. So I really like the overall upper. It's just the material quality doesn't feel the best, you know, especially with this like synthetic leather. And now moving on to the fit. So I don't know what it is with Nike, but all of their shoes have been running short for me lately. So I've been going up half a size for all of their shoes, right? So in the Zoom Freak 4, right here, I went true to size and it fits me perfectly. And then here in the Zoom Freak 5, I went up half a size and it fits me perfectly. So me going up half a size for the 5 and true to size for the 4, they both fit me the exact same, right? So I would suggest most people, you guys go up half a size. If you go true to size, it'll probably be super duper snug, very tight and stuff like that. So I guess if you have a skinny foot or you want a really snug fit, then do that. But for most people, go up half a size, right? But me going up half a size, it's a very snug fit here in the toe box. It feels very nice. It's also slightly narrow, and lengthwise, obviously it's good for me going up half a size, right? So if you have a wide foot or you want a super roomy fit, probably go up like a full size or maybe even a full size and a half. But for me, going up half a size, this shoe fits me very well. And now moving on to the support and lockdown, I had zero issues, right? So for lateral containment, the foam comes up a little bit here in the forefoot, acting as a sidewall. And of course, we have this swoosh, or we have this oversized swoosh with this crazy thick leather material. Kind of starting in the midfoot, maybe in like the front of the midfoot a little bit, kind of in the forefoot area, and comes all the way across, and this kind of acts as a sidewall a little bit as well, right? And then here in the heel, we have an internal TPU heel counter, so lateral containment, I was good to go. My foot was not coming out of the footbed at all. It felt very supportive for me, and I feel like even if you're a bigger dude, you should be okay. You know what I mean? You should be fine if you're doing a lot of lateral movements, right? And also lateral stability was good for me as well. We do have a little bit of an outrigger, and you have a wide base here in the Zoom Freak 5. So lateral stability was good for me too, and my foot felt locked into the shoe, right? With this lacing system, and also in the heel, I didn't have any heel slippage or anything like that. So support and lockdown was very good for me in the Zoom Freak 5. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, it'll probably be a little bit lighter than average. It's a pretty light feeling shoe, right? 11.45 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 11.25 ounces. So that's really light. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So it's like around an ounce lighter than average, which is of course a very good thing. Coupling that with the responsive traction, right? You have really good stops. Cushion is responsive, but also soft and comfortable. I had no issues with support, and also lockdown. My foot felt super locked into the shoe. So yeah, I felt really quick when I was playing in it, but also it wasn't like super like stiff or rigid feeling. You know what I mean? Some shoes, they feel really responsive. You know what I mean? They have very good core feel, but like the cushion sucks, so like my feet hurt, you know what I mean? But the Zoom Freak 5 wasn't like that. So I felt really quick, but also the shoe felt comfortable for me, which of course is a good thing. And now moving on to the ventilation, it's not very good. Not very good. There's not a whole lot of airflow through this upper, you know what I mean? So we have this mesh material, right, at like pretty much the bottom of the tongue, but not a whole lot of airflow. There's a little bit, but obviously through the synthetic leather, there's gonna be absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? And then through this textile, right here on the lateral side and also on the medial side, not a whole lot of airflow. You know what I mean? So my foot, it wasn't super hot, but also wasn't amazing for ventilation. And now moving on to the aesthetics, I really like it. I love the oversized swoosh. This colorway is okay, but the overall silhouette I think looks pretty damn sick. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yes, the Zoom Freak 5 is a freaking amazing performer, guys. I love how the shoe feels. And if you're a guard, I feel like a lot of guards will love playing the shoe, right? Super duper responsive, like I said, pretty minimal feeling. It's lightweight, but also cozy and comfortable at the same time. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's not synonymous. Like comfort and also responsiveness doesn't really go well together in shoes. You know, sometimes comfort is more like, you know, a cozy, thick upper with a soft cushion. You know what I mean? But also that doesn't really add to responsiveness, right? If the cushion is too soft, it's not super responsive feeling. But I feel like the Zoom Freak 5 does all that pretty damn well and puts that all together very, very well to form a very good performing hoop shoe, right? So also if you're a bigger dude, I feel like support's good, you know, traction's great, and also the cushion is soft. So I feel like most people will enjoy this shoe, especially for the pretty cheaper price, like the $130 price tag. So anyways, this is definitely a top tier performer for me, and I absolutely love playing this shoe, right? So anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the Nike Zoom Freak 5. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave the free link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.